Hello students, hope you are well at home and doing your hard work. So yesterday we had completed our next two topics, that is the classification of the business and then the meaning of the industry and the types of industries that are prevail in the society. So today we are discuss about the role of small business in India and the meaning of commerce, its characteristics and the features that are included in the business activities. So before that we will discuss some key terms that are learned today. First one is the ancillary. Ancillary small industrial unit. Simply we can say that ancillary means that provides the support to the main work, like providing tools, equipments, components or the subparts to their parent company, means where the actual product is made, that is known as the ancillary industrial units. Next one is the cottage industries, like handicrafts, knitting, handlooms that are done at their homes with their family members. These are known as the cottage industries. Next key term is the exports. Exports means selling the goods from the one country to the another country, that is known as the exports, or from the one city to another city, that are included in the exports. In India there are various products that are to be exported, like gem and jewelry, coffee, food processing products, textile industries that producing the goods and exporting goods to the other countries, likewise granites, electronic products, electrical products and even the engineering products that are to be exported from the India to the other countries, that are included in the exports. Next one is the word means commerce. Commerce, simply we can say that the buying and the selling of the things, or buying and the selling of the goods and the services. But simply in the Latin word it is comes from the two words, that is cum plus mox. Cum means togetherness and the mox means sale, exchange or merchandise. But togetherness means together of the buyer and the seller. Both should be together so that the buying and selling should be done. And mox means sale or exchange or merchandise, the sale or purchase of the things or the goods and the services that are included in the commerce. Also the commerce includes the trade and aids to trade. Trade means buying and the selling of the goods from the one country to the another, or from one place to the another, or from place to place, that is included in the trade. Simply buying and selling of the goods. But aids to trade includes the activities that provides the help to the producer to sell its commodities at the various places. It includes the transportation facility, the communication, the advertisement, the various banking facilities, insurance facilities that are to be taken so that the buying and selling should be done. So in detail we are continue in next term, that is hindrance. Hindrance means a problem, a interference that is comes in the buying and selling of the goods. Hindrance means a thing that makes it difficult for us to do something. Likewise, hindrance may be of various types. We will consider transport facility. If there is no transport, then we cannot transfer one good to the another place, right? So by hindrance, if we remove the hindrance, we can easily, products should be buy or sell. We can easily buy and sell the goods. But if the hindrances should not be removed, then there is a problem between getting that in the buying and the selling of the goods and the services. So hindrances, we can take example like farmer plows a field and gets wheat on it. He sells his wheat to the various markets. How he can sell it? through the transport or through the road facility that he can taken. So that is the hindrance. If the transport facility, if the roads are not well equipped, then how he can sell it? There is a problem arises. So that is why the hindrances should be removed and should be taken into consideration while buying and selling of the goods and the services. So next our topic is role of small businesses in India. There are various small businesses that are prevail in the society. First is the small scale industries. Small scale industries are defined as their investments in the fixed assets is not exceeds up to 1 crore and their investment ceiling in the plant and machinery should not be exceed from rupees 5 crores. Then it is known as the small scale industries. Small scale industries like shoemaking, shopkeepers, or maybe some paper industry, or maybe some copies industries that make up copies or pages. Likewise, water bottle industries or some old toys industries that produces the limited products that are in the society. Next one is the ancillary small industrial unit. As I told you before, ancillary means that manufacture parts, components or the tools to their parent company, to the main company or some other industry, maybe we can say that, sells these products so that the production should be done. Then it is known as the ancillary small industrial unit. Likewise, if we want to make a cycle, there are various products that are used to make one product, that is cycle. So where these tools or various products should be taken from these units. So if the industry is an ancillary small industrial unit, it has the supply not less than up to 50% of its production. Then it is known as the ancillary small industrial unit. Next one is the small scale industries and owned, managed by the women entrepreneurs. Women entrepreneurs in the independence that we get in India. First women entrepreneur is the Kalpana Saroj, who started her garment factory to support the family. Then there is another Vandana Luthra, who was the founder of the VLCC company. So there are the various women entrepreneurs who can started their own businesses and manage their activities. So there are some limitations like capital should not less than rupees 51%. The percentage should be increased or up to the 51%, then it is known as the small scale enterprises that are owned by the women entrepreneurs. Next one is they can avail of various concessions by the government. Concession means there are various low interest rates they can get, even they can get subsidies, they can get various facilities from the government so that they can easily make their products and sell it into the market. Next one is the tiny industrial units. Tiny industrial units are those industrial units where the investment in the plant and machinery should not be more than the 25 lakhs. Then it is included in the tiny industrial units. It is a simpler requirements that differ each from one another. Next one is the export oriented units. As the exports, there are various exports that are to be done in India. Like I told you before, there are various textiles, garments, various granite engineering products or electronic products that are to be exported. Similarly, India export to the Pakistan as tomatoes, peas, coconuts, raw cotton. What is these? These are the export oriented units. Various units that exported the things to the other countries. So if the unit is export oriented, then it should not be more than the 51% of its production should be used in exports. Means what they are producing, they are exported for more than 50% to the other countries, then it is known as the export oriented units. Next one is the village industries. Village industries includes those industries where the investment by the worker or by the person should not exceed rupees 50,000. So the investment in the capital should be not exceed from the rupees 50,000. Then it is known as the village industries. Village industries like shoemaking, cane and bamboo baskets, pottery or leather work, they are done in their villages. That is included in the village industries. Next one is the cottage or rural industries. Those industries that run with the help of their family members and they need a very little capital, then it is known as the cottage industries. Like handicrafts, khadi industries, we can include it in this. Also knitting purposes, handlooms, pottery business, these all are included in the cottage industries. There is needed a less machinery work, means machines should be less required, and even the work should be a home based and not a family based, factory based. Then it is known as the cottage or the rural industries. Next one is the role of the small businesses in India. That what is the role of small business? First one is the limited resources. As it is at the small scale, so it needs resources but at a limited place. Then like example, they need a less resources, means they need a less machines, they need a less natural resources that are included in the production of the goods and the services. Next one is the limited demand. There is a limited demand of the products and the services, or maybe demand is a local and a seasonal. Like apples business, they producing a fruits, vegetables, they have a limited demand, then it is known as the small scale business. Next one is the personal touch, as there needs a personal touch with their customers. Like businesses are beauty parlors or hair cutting salons or maybe a high style boutiques that includes a personal touch with their customers, then it is included in the small role of the small scale business. Next one is the flexibility. Flexibility means changes in the demand that should be included. That what the customer now demands should accordingly production should be done. Then this is known as the flexibility. There can easily the production should be changed because they are done by their hands, so they can change according with the demand of the customers. Next one is the individual temperament. Individual temperament means where the person doesn't like to do work under some other person, then they can go for open their own businesses, whatever they may be, but maybe at a small scale or at a large scale. So in the individual temperament, they includes the where the person does not like or the person wants the freedom to work, or the person wants to lead a comfortable and a simple life without more needs, then it is included in the individual temperament. Next one is the direct motivation. Direct motivation includes that initiative that the person takes or the skills that a person has, and then he goes for a work and it needs a motivation. So if person has a skill or person has the ability to work, so he automatically motivate to do that work by their own, then it is known as the direct motivation that includes in the small businesses. Next one is the social utility. Social utility means where the person can provide works to the other persons and the society can get jobs from that person, then he creates a social utility. And even the products are to be sold to the customers according to their demands, then it is also creates a social utility. Next one is the inherent disadvantages of the large business enterprises. As the large business enterprise has the disadvantages of the efficiency they needed. There is a lack of a personal touch between the customers they are. So these are the disadvantages that are removed in the small businesses, because there they need less resources, limited demand, and the personal touch with the customer so that they can satisfy their wants. That is the role of the small businesses, or the importance why the small businesses are run in the society like India. That is the role. So next one is the commerce. Commerce is the meaning commerce, trade plus aids to trade, means trade, buying and the selling of the goods and the services, and aids to trade includes the auxiliaries or the activities that provides the help to the buying and the selling of the goods and the services. Then it is included in the commerce. So trade, first one we said that trade means the buying and the selling of the goods. Aids to trade means the activities that provide helps in the buying and the selling of the goods, like transport, banking, communication, insurance, warehousing. What are these? These are the activities that are providing help to the selling of the goods and the services in the market. So we can say that commerce includes all those activities that are linked with the transferring of the goods from the producer to the ultimate customer. This is known as the commerce and removes the hindrances of the activities that are involved in this. So what are the characteristics of the commerce? Means what are the features that the commerce holds? It is an economic activity. Means the activities that are undertaken or that are done for earning money is known as the economic activity. Next one is the part of a business activity. As we can say that business activities are those activities that are done for the production and the distribution of the goods and the services. So even the commerce also includes the production and the distribution of the goods and the services. So it is the part of the business activity. Next one is the profit motive. As it includes the profit motive, means to earn money. By selling something, they can earn something. So it is known as the profit motive. Next is the exchange of the goods and the services. Exchange of the goods and the services includes exchange between the buyer and the seller of the goods and the services what the producer produce or the seller sells to its customers. Next is the creation of the utilities, that the utilities should be created. Like if the person is at the distant place, so there is a loss of theft or maybe a damage of the goods. So when the customer is in demand, if simply we can say that if the customer wants that good but that product is at the distant place, so when the product is transported, there is a damage may be included. Maybe a product should be spoiled, or maybe a theft charges should be there, or maybe some fire products, or maybe from rain the product should be spoiled. So what is this? This is the hindrance that are to be created, and utilities are those that can be easily transferred, this hindrance or the remove this hindrance by maybe from the transportation facility or maybe from the warehousing facility. If the product should be at the store at the proper place known as a warehouse, then it create a utility, means the product has a power to satisfy the human wants, that is known as the utility. Next is the continuity of the transactions, that the transactions should be of the continuous basis. That if the transaction is an isolated transaction, means that are done for a one time basis, then it does not mean the activity is included in the commerce. So there should be a continuously production or the continuously consumption by the consumers, then it is known as the continuously of the transactions that includes in this. Next one we have to discuss is the functions of the commerce. That what are the functions of the commerce? First one is the hindrance of the persons. Hindrance means the interference. Interference of the persons includes that the persons are at the distant places and not at the same places where the production and the consumption should be done. So to remove this hindrance, there is a person known as a middleman who can remove this hindrance. Like in Amritsar, there is IDS market. There are various retail shops that we are seeing in our day-to-day life, like Karyana stores or maybe some clothes shops, toy shops or cosmetic shops. They provide the customers to the products they are needed at their own places. Right? So this is the middleman actually works. They middleman who gets the good from the producers and sells the consumers at their own places. That is known as the middleman who removes the hindrance of the persons. Next one is the hindrance of the places. Places means the place where the production and the consumption should be done. So there includes the transportation as road transport, rail transport, sea, air, by which the product should be go for that place where it demands. If the product produced at some other place and the consumption should be done at some other place, then it includes the transportation facility that removes this hindrance. Next one is the hindrance of the time. There is a time gap between the production and the consumption. Like example, apples are demanded whole of the year, but they are producing in the winter season. They are growing in the winter season. So in this, warehousing plays an important role because apples are to be produced and then stored in the warehousing, so that when they are in demand, we are open to sell that products in the market. Next one is the hindrance of the knowledge. Knowledge means where the customer didn't have a knowledge about the product, how we can use it, how we can consume it, from where we can get it, and when we use it. So this knowledge can be given by the advertisement. We can see that the various advertisements are day-to-day life. There we can see that how they used. Maybe the product is of a food, then we can see that how it should be made. Right? So hindrances of knowledge can be removed by the advertisements that are seen in the televisions or maybe from the newspapers, magazines or various other things, that we can see the advertisements easily. Next is the hindrance of the risk. Risk means where the risk of the product should be there. Means maybe the product should be spoiled, or maybe the theft arises, or maybe some fire products should be arises. So at that time, there need a insurance. Insurance means the product should be secured. If the product should be damaged, there is one company who can gives us some money related to that damage. That is the insurance company that provides or that removes this hindrance. Next one is the hindrance of the finance. Finance includes the money that we can take from the banking companies. Banking companies, there are various banks that are provided like Punjab National Bank, State Bank of India, HDFC banks, ICICI Bank. What are these? These are the banks that provide the finance to the various customers so that they can get a raw material and produce the goods and then sell it to the ultimate customers, and then the customers can consume it and the producer can get a money. back from that customers. Then this hindrance of finance can be removed by the banking facility. So today this is all about the commerce. So you have to write the question answers. Like first one is the explain the role of small businesses in India. Next, what do you mean by the commerce, and write the 3 characteristics of the commerce with proper suitable examples. Next one is the why the commerce plays important role in removing the hindrances in business activities. Means importance or the function should be discussed with proper examples and the persons that how the hindrances should be removed is discussed in this question. You can get a various YouTube channels where this can be help provided to you so that you can write a proper answers of these questions.